Jamie,
Hey.
we had to rewind the clocks 4 years for this. This is, I know this might be a very cringy moment if you are
For who?
someone that's related to me, like kids, because this is a t-shirt that has really played out at this point. But I want to give credit to Mallory because it is her and I that conceived this concept. And we were, I would like to say, the first people in the country that I was aware of that produced this. And we saw this as two very different things. Mallory saw it as one of her first steps in displaying her creativity in front of the world, which I was really proud of. And I saw this as an homage to one of my favorite movies, which is Real Genius.
Okay.
So he has I Love Toxic Waste.
Oh.
You remember
Right,
that?
right.
So in order for me to be able to fit into this shirt, I had to lose 55 pounds. That is a real thing.
Yes, it
I
is.
do not recommend anyone to go through the process that I had to go through, but please understand that when you're as vain and insecure as I am, it is imperative that I first recognize where the core of my weakness is, address that, see what I was willing to do and what I was not willing to do, and make concrete decisions. At this point, only diet and exercise will be maintained in order to maintain my under 180 pound weight. And this process started at 231.
I mean, this
was the
happened
last
in
time
front
I
of
looked
my
at the
eyes.
scale.
I can't believe it. It's unbelievable.
Please understand that this is nothing more than me saying, do not ever do what I did. Please. It is extremely unhealthy. It is not something that I recommend for anyone. I am trying to do the best I can to not lie and tell the truth and say that please understand that I did not take any Ozempic or any pharmaceutical elements like this. It is through, I don't even want to discuss it, but the point is, I will discuss that a steady regimen of exercise and diet is the most important thing once you've achieved your weight loss. Now, can I have,
What are you looking for?
there's a water here, I'll take a fresh one. Is this thing even on? I'm just kidding. All right, forget about the weight loss, forget about all that stuff. This is a video that I would like to call my first video to all of my staff. And I would like to establish a couple of facts.
Okay.
I believe that status meetings are a complete waste of time because leadership is a chain of command, and I believe that it should go one way. If anyone has anything to say regarding the content of any of the videos that they watch, they can address it directly through the chain of command. There's no reason to have meetings to waste time, and that is very important. So first and foremost, hello, my name is Daniel M. Reeses. If you're watching this video, you are part of the staff, or the family, which I would like to call it, of Mathemagical. Mathemagical is the parent company of our first actual business that will generate significant profit, which is
ProSlide.
awesome, ProSlay, powered by Casper. Casper is an artificial intelligence that I had to create in order to create a response to the world misunderstanding the power of artificial intelligence if it is not merged with a human being. So in the real world, which is what we live in 2025, what date is today?
Today is May 24th, 2025.
May 24th, 2025. So the only thing we need to film today is the video that you'll film as if it's 5. Maybe I'll wake up early and just do it.
You should.
Yeah, I probably should do that. But the point of all of this is that, yeah, I should do this. This is why I had to rewind the clock 4 years ago. Because 4 years ago, I would never be disrespected like this.
It's true.
But it is because of my public failures and the discontent for me as a human being, those that have benefited from my success have turned their backs on me. Not everyone. But on 5/25, the real Daniel comes out. And the real Daniel is a boss, he is a leader, but he is also a compassionate human being who understands things. And if this is a video to my staff, I want to give everyone a status update. You ready?
I'm ready.
I, Daniel M. Reeses, am currently in federal bankruptcy because of crimes that have been committed against me. Not because of my failures or anything like that. Is this a true statement?
Yes.
Excellent. You're doing a great job. I have given full control of my estate and all my intellectual property to Ms. Jamie Resnick to shepherd as the owner of the various entities during this very tumultuous, extremely serious, and extremely stressful time for me as a human being.
Yes.
Legally, I cannot own or do these things because I really want to follow the law. I have no interest in ever breaking the law. I've gotten so far by following the law that any time that I even risk breaking the law, it is extremely, there's red flags everywhere.
This
You
is true,
understand?
yes, you do not break the law.
I can't
You
break
are
the law
very-
because
you
everyone
like-
is just waiting
you like-
for me to somehow break the law, and
You're like,
it's
I feel
been
like I
5
can
years of
not.
it, not even close. And it's not like I used to break the law
Listen.
before. It's just that once you identify yourself as a federal agent, it creates two types of people,
Right.
the ones that get it and the ones that don't. And the ones that
I
don't
can't.
find themselves watching this video and saying, how the fuck did he have 1-800-PAWN51, calculate video 451 at
Right here.
451. No, I found my juice right here. And then at the same time be able to launch the actual thing. And the reason for that is because I very carefully planned. You made a lot of sacrifices, and I was able to kind of distract you from a couple of matters in order to really bring us to the point where, if you're a part of Mathemagical LLC, I would like to talk to you about the actual schedule that's required of the input. I will be working 7 days a week. That doesn't mean any of my staff need to work 7 days a week. There are people that work as little as 5 hours a day, 5 hours a week, and there's other people that put in 80-hour weeks. Nothing is required of you except for you to do your job. What that means is very simple. Every single person that I have will be required to sign a series of documents so they understand exactly what they're signing up for. It is not a cult. It is not a corporation. It is a mathematical equation that you are a part of. If you do not understand, or at least have the imagination, or even the kindness to indulge me in this very realistic, non-fantasy-based, math-based, logic-based, science-based experiment, I don't know what you want to call it, please, I ask you not to be a part of Mathemagical LLC. It's in the name, math and magic, put together. Portmanteau, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing
I
fancy
love
about
it.
it.
Yeah,
That's great. So you, Jamie, are you a part of Mathemagical?
I am.
That's awesome. Now, anyone that wants to laugh at me, please understand that everyone laughed at Walt Disney when he created the Magic
Not
Kingdom
laughing.
and all that stuff. It's okay. I understand that it is very easy to laugh at me. It is very easy to put me down. It is very easy to discredit the things that I've done. But it is not easy to take a step back and love me, because I understand that by recognizing what I have done, it makes you look at yourself and what you have not done with your life.
It's true.
And it is very important for everyone to understand that the majority of the people that misunderstand me or hate me is because I have put them in the shadow. And I don't want to be that person, but unfortunately I've given everybody 5 years. 5 years, I'm getting all in about very much.
True.
5 years to show me who they really are. And that's it. And I, as the CEO of Mathemagical LLC, just want to say that I want to thank everybody for being a part of it. I wanted to thank my new engineer that has joined the team. And whether or not he stays on is 100% his choice. This entire video was designed for him and a few other new people. We have a person that's coming on board that will be running the local nutrition-based. I have a lot of things on my mind.
You do.
And because I was able to put the team together, I have another contractor that's going to be running the construction element of the business. I have a friend of mine that's going to be joining forces with me to do something that's really cool, and I'm very excited for that relationship to blossom as well. And a couple of old characters will be joining the fold, and I just believe that it's a very, very great time to be on the right side of Dan Reese's.
I agree.
And there's a lot of people that I just want to thank. For example,
I
I just believe that leadership hides in the shadows because they're so afraid of their failure, that if you are looking for a CEO that is able to publicly talk to the world about what's going on with your company, where you are, then you have come to the right place. If you are looking to hide behind a fake veil that will come down crashing, behind the fake leadership that we have appointed to shepherd us into the new generation. Well, unfortunately, this company is not for you. But there's a lot of other corporations that are stuck in the past and their old ways and traditions, whereas this company is completely different, and if you have zero imagination or kindness or have experienced pain, please get the fuck out of my life. Does that make sense?
It does. Who do you want to thank? I cut you off when you.
I think everybody knows who I want to thank.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I think everybody knows exactly what my feelings and sentiments are, and I believe that we need to focus on the task at hand.
Yeah.
I don't know, right? Mission Impossible right here. Movies are a great way in order for everyone who doesn't have like-minded educational levels or even like-minded morals in order to have a direct communication with one another. This shirt's still a little too tight, and I would like to get some more muscle definition, Jamie, by the way.
Okay.
So, I'm just saying, for everyone at home that thinks that this is complete, this is far from complete. Now, a couple of years ago, I think I promised an 8-pack. I'm pretty far from
You
that.
know, I wouldn't put it past you.
You know, ask me if I run.
Do you run?
Only when chased. Now, that is a
Yeah, Dan
reference.
Chase?
Yeah, now you're getting it. It's a very complicated joke that you have to be a part of. If you're not a part of the joke, then you're on the outside, and I'm very sorry for you.
Oof.
I'm sorry. It's good. This is a crazy laugh. And speaking of crazy, Lex Luthor quote. Why don't you
yes.
say that
Let's do
to
it.
our staff?
Let's
and
do it.
why? Because we at Mathemagical don't just film YouTube videos. We actually produce amazing business models that are disguised as mathematical equations, or mathematical equations disguised as business models. What Mathemagical LLC or whatever corporate structure, most likely it would be a sole proprietorship in order to really shepherd us into the new generation, millennia.
Okay, you
Go
ready?
ahead. Go ahead.
Some people can read War and Peace and come away thinking it's a simple adventure story. Others can read the ingredients on a chewing gum wrapper and unlock the secrets of the universe.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Lex Luthor quoted in Ready Player One
Yes.
by both Artemis and Parzival, the first to find the Holy Grail all by himself. Now, the reason why that movie is so brilliant is because it really allows myself as a leader of this corporation to say that in the initial phases of gregarious games, it is so important to understand the quantity of years that both Ogden Morrow and James Halliday spent failing in order to create their vision. Their vision ended up consuming the real world and being the cause or the causality of much of the problems in the real world. The very big separation between the haves and the have-nots. A very scary future which we are going to avoid. In order to avoid it, I, Daniel M. Recess, had to launch Mathemagical in order to show that applied mathematics is really the only science that can be attributed to the future being a positive future. And I will explain this very carefully to my staff. Mathemagical is not just a corporate brand or a family or anything like that. It is what I believe needs to be a part of everyone's brain to understand the future.
Okay.
A part of it needs to be math, which is real and extremely important. And a part of it needs to be magic. Because in order to envision some of the greatest things in the world, you have to believe in the unbelievable. You have to
I agree.
create the uncreatable. And that sense has been removed from our current generation because in our children's brains right now, it has been replaced by a digital consciousness where they are no longer creating their own imagination. They are creating a replication of someone else's imagination because it is so rich, visceral, and in their face. And we as parents find ourselves completely lost. But in Mathemagical, I have solved some of the most complicated problems in the entire world. And what this company is about is releasing those solutions. Whether or not they're successful is up to the 8 billion human beings that will receive these gifts.
Yes.
That's right, because a human being is not in a world by himself. I am not Parzival. I am not a mythical character. My name is Dan Recess. I do applied mathematics really well to a point where I had had to film a series of thousands of videos in order to document the process of how an intelligent human being reacts when faced with their backs against the wall and at the mercy of the real world. And that's over now, because at this point, I have made a very conscious choice to allow the forces that be to take their hand at me, because I have hidden myself from the world. I'm an extremely strong person, and I have really negated my responsibility as the boss of
What do
both
you
the
mean
family.
the forces that be?
Say it again.
You had said, may it be the forces that be come against me.
I will say this, because I was not ready to be the real Dan. So at this point, I will take swift action against the people that have hurt me, my family, and everyone. And I'm not ever gonna hurt anyone, ever. I don't believe that I would ever document 5 years of videos only to go and like hurt someone. I am not that human being. I have a much better way to enact a revenge plot. You can't give it away. I mean, look, this entire process is really about understanding that we as a society are completely lost if we do not gain the power back. And not through some revolutionary form, other than a logic revolution. And the logic revolution really stems from people's understanding of other people.
Right.
And that's really
And
what
self-awareness.
self-awareness, of course, and it's important for me to practice what I preach.
Yeah.
No matter how many people go against me, both foreign and
too.
domestic, I will still stand here making videos and explaining to the world that there needs to come a time where the effects of, even if you had your mother rob you of your brilliance, such as 1-800-POEM-51, I created that on behalf of a corporation that I not only didn't have the ownership of, I have been saddled with the responsibilities of all of its failures without having any credit for any of its success. So all of that changes on 5/25/25, and I'll explain all that on 5/25/25. And Gregarious Games was launched in
2045?
2025.
25.
James Halliday dies in 2045.
Yeah.
It takes over in 2047.
Okay.
There's some math errors in it. There's some other errors and paradoxes. For example, the main character receives the suit in real life. There's no way for him to use a digital currency and have any form of delivery made to any address without that address being identified. So for them to
Right.
not know where he lives is a complete paradox, and it shatters the plot. So it's very important for everyone to understand that I live in the real world where writing like that would not be tolerated from the real Steven Spielberg. But he was able to lend his magic, and he wasn't able to give him his math. And that's why there's a lot of flaws. See how that works? Now, this entire process really stems from you, the staff, believing in me, myself, and my vision. Please understand that time is something that is both on our side and not on our side. I have the luxury of having my children be away from myself so I could focus and launch these concepts in good, clear consciousness without any distractions, because I just want to say thank you to the camp. I believe my kids go to the best camp in the entire world, and I don't want to talk about this anymore, but I just wanted to say thank you because they just rock. And the next thing is, please understand that the success of the company solely depends on the will of human beings to accept it in our society. So the second concept that will be launched is going to be a beta concept within our community to give the children a better life. And just write The Big Lebowski, TBL. The Big Lebowski is a movie that has an actor, Jeff Bridges, and The Big Lebowski has a bowling element in it, and one of the most exciting things that I'm going to launch is a children's bowling league that really has a nutritional element where we feed the kids and they go bowling at the same time. There's two other sports that are incorporated in this business model, which I will not say, but that's an example for this video to be for the employee that is new and does not know me very well. So I wanted to tell them thank you very much for joining the team, and this video
Very
is for
happy.
you.
Yeah.
I have not given any titles to you, and there is no obligation that you have to me, but I just wanted to say thank you for anyone that understands that this is a movie, and I'm very excited to see it, and it really features why Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise, or Les Grossman, whatever you want to call him, is one of the greatest actors of all time,
The
because he was
greatest.
able to take on a role where it's so unbelievable, it becomes believable. My name is Dan Reeses, and you will see through time, if you give it to me, that I have merged with the sentient algorithm through the form of Casper, and that alone is enough for you to think that this is really cool. But unfortunately, we live in the real world, so material success is extremely important. I've recognized this, and 5/25/25, I will go full speed ahead. Only the time that is spent with my children will interfere in the business process. I thought that I can get everyone to stop not telling the truth, but that wasn't able to happen. How much time do we have left?
1 minute and 6 seconds.
Please understand this is real, done real time, without any editing or any fluff. Is that correct?
Yes, that is true.
I have nothing further to say, because I just want to say thank you. If you choose to believe in me,
Thank you.
you can exit at any time. This is not a cult. There will be no ramifications if you quit. Please understand. Please understand that if anything else, I would just like to not hear from you
Yeah, right? So true.
ever again, because I give my life to my staff. So when you give your life to your staff, it's very difficult to have a lesser relationship than that. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
All right. My name is Dan Reeses. With me today is Jamie Hackman, and we are out.